Those are my rares. I will now talk about my uncommons. I'll go through these a little more quickly. Alabaster Mage. It's got this lifelink effect. I think lifelink is a pretty cool effect. They didn't have that when I was playing. This is not a bad ability. Celestial Purge, is limited to black or red. I never liked these cards that were color specific. I didn't like being so reliant on what my opponents were playing. I didn't like having to fish out these cards if my opponent was not playing the right colors. So that's not a great card for me. Combust, my little direct damage card. Nothing very exciting, but certainly very useful. Crumbling Colossus. I got 2 of these things. It's a relatively cheap, very powerful creature that you can only attack with once. Big freaking deal. Diabolic Tutor. This one is cool. I like this card. You can search your library for any card you want and put it into your hand. I'm also glad that Wizards of the Coast have gotten back to the sort of demonic cards, because I think in the 4th edition they had sort of gotten away from the more satanic imagery, and I think this is obviously very evil, in concept, and I like it. Flash Freeze, again, it's color limited, and that doesn't do much for me. So, got some fun Goblin cards here. This Goblin Grenade, I think that came from Fallen Empires, which I think the Fallen Empires set, for all its problems, did have the kind of neat innovation of the sort of tribalism, goblins and thalids and hominids and Icatians and all that. What was the black one? Thralls. Anyway, this whole idea of goblins being sort of incompetent and expendable, I think, is a lot of fun. And if I were to put my male goblin deck together again, I would definitely play with these. Greatsword is just an artifact that makes your creature more strong. It's useful but not interesting. Lure. This is a very cool card. I think for all the cards I bought back in the 90s, I never got one of these. The sort of holy grail of Lure back in the day was to put Lure on your Basilisk, because the Basilisk destroyed or buried really anything that blocked it. So you could basically play this card, sacrifice your Basilisk, and destroy your opponent's entire army, which was not a bad move. Okay. Master Thief. This is a nice card. You get to steal an artifact. As it's played. I got a couple of these Onyx Mages. It has a Death Touch effect. I guess it's basically sort of the flip side of that lifelink card we just saw earlier. So nothing wrong with that. Rock Egg, I think this was in the old revised set. It may have had a different name. The trick was always to play this and then hit it with a lightning bolt to kill it and bring out the bird. But, as we are going to see later, I am worried that they have gotten rid of the lightning bolt, and that is very bad. Again, I could be totally wrong, because I haven't played seriously in 15 years. Stormblood Berserker, it's just kind of a boring little creature with a couple of abilities. Nothing exciting there. Switchfoot Boots, this is an okay artifact. It, gives you some good abilities on your creature. Try to hurry up now. I'm going to get this in 10 minutes. Okay. Titanic Rift. This is a nice little direct damage. I guess not really direct damage, but it's sort of in that vein. Destroy a land and screw around with creatures. Not a bad card, a little expensive, but useful. Thran Golem, a good example of a boring artifact that really shouldn't qualify as an uncommon card. You need to enchant it and it gets all these abilities, but otherwise it's just a 5-mana 3/3 card with an okay illustration. Turn to Frog. This is awesome. I love this card. You turn a creature into a frog temporarily. Breathtaking in its elegance, I might say. Okay, and these vampire cards are pretty neat. Bloodthirst and Lifelink. That's a pretty good combination, I think. This Volcanic Dragon is a good, good, kind of down the middle, red, nasty creature, flying, haste, 4/4, very powerful, kind of expensive. This is a good card. I would play with that. And then the zombie infestation. I don't know. It seems kind of severe. Discard 2 cards for a 2/2 black zombie creature. I don't see myself doing that. How did this get warped already? I've had these cards for less than 10 hours. Anyway. All right, I'm going to pause this and come back with my commons, which will be so much more interesting.